Mark Millar, how does it feel to finally have Jupiter Legacy out there for the world to see?
Oh my God, it's been like having a baby, but being pregnant for 9 years, So, so it's nice to get it out. I'm loving it. And how nice that it's got 10 fingers and 10 toes. I'm really happy with it as well. It works really good.
Well, tell me, how did this concept come about? Because you're no stranger to the comic world series, but we've never really seen comic book superheroes set in the world of family. So where did this come about?
Well, I'd love to do something I've never seen before. That's always very compelling. So I thought that's interesting because The Godfather, Shakespeare's plays, all the myths is all based around family. So it's quite interesting that there's never been a superhero thing in live action, certainly anyway. We've seen cartoons a little with it, but not live action. So I thought that's a good place to start. I'm going to, because it humanizes superheroes, doesn't it? When it's a father and son and daughter and everything, then suddenly you can relate to it in a way that you can't always with these crazy things. But I wanted to also do something that was grander than any superhero project that's ever been done. I wrote in the pad in 2012 when I started writing it, this has to be the greatest superhero story of all time. Otherwise,
no pressure.
And I'd just done 10 years at Marvel, so I was kind of like, I have to top what I did at Marvel. This has to be awesome. And I set myself that challenge. And I wanted to do a big grand Shakespearean kind of superhero story. So that's where that all came from.
But Mark, it's one thing setting yourself the challenge, right? And we all do that. We have these grand ideas. This is what we're going to do. And, we will achieve it. But then you go from, this is my challenge. How do you go to the how? How do you make it happen? And how do you turn this great idea? Because sometimes great ideas are very hard to develop. How do you turn it into something that works?
Well, it's funny. My wife pointed out, like on Facebook, one of those Facebook memories things came up from 6 years ago or something. And it was like, my plan, I was like, I'm going to start going to the gym every day. I'm going to eat healthy, this. So usually your plans don't work out, So, but I was quite lucky that I'd done 10 years at Marvel. I'd learned how to build international franchises, to create and build these big franchises. So I used all the skills that I'd had there doing all these things like Old Man Logan and Civil War and all these things. And actually, so I thought, right, I'm going to write the ultimate superhero story. This is the one I couldn't have written at any other company. I'm doing it. It was my own company at the time before I sold it to Netflix, Melloworld. I'm going to start where they draw the line because they could never do something as political as this and as dramatic as this, really, So, and you certainly couldn't do it with company-owned characters because they could never be used again after this story. So it was very liberating, actually. I really had a great time doing it. I really did. My office looked like the Zodiac office, the police office in Zodiac, where I had post-it notes everywhere because I had all 100 characters that I was trying to keep tabs on.
How do you keep tabs on them? Because that's a lot of characters to be working with. I struggle with just one, and that's usually myself.
No, believe it or not, that's also one of maybe 4 things I'm currently writing whenever I'm doing these things as well. So it's insane. While I'm doing meetings on an adaptation or something else, like I wrote this when the first Kingsman movie was getting made back in 2013, I was writing the starting the second volume round about then. So, I mean, you're juggling so many plates. Meanwhile, I think we'd had our second baby around about that time as well, So, like, I mean, mental, absolutely mental.
Wow. So I want to know, what are you juggling now? This is coming out, and given your personality, you're not just working on this. What else is going on in the background, Mark?
Well, it's worse than ever. It's worse than ever because when I sold the company to Netflix, my plan was, right, I'm going to kick back and live the life now, and then Netflix offered me this job as president of the division, right? And I thought, that doesn't happen very often. That's pretty cool. So, and I loved the idea of being a really active producer, like getting to choose the directors, the writers, all this kind of stuff. It's really fun. So we're actually simultaneously right now, we're actively doing about 7 things at the moment, and that's making them. We're developing other stuff in the background that we're planning to be doing in the next year or 2. And then beyond that, I've got my day job where I'm writing all the new stuff that will come out in 5 years' time or whatever, So it is crazy, I'm doing long days and also promoting this show, So it's like there's a lot going on.
And having a family.
Well, the kids make their own way to school now. They're 7, So the youngest one's 7. No, it's actually great. Like my wife is CEO at Netflix as well. She's CEO of the division. But she somehow manages to also do the school run and all that kind of stuff. It's crazy. I don't know.
So you need to lift your game.
Well, I know. We don't have a nanny or anything like that. You know, we do it all ourselves. You know, I don't even have a mobile phone. I don't have a cell phone or anything. So we live life pretty simply.
Wow. Well, listen, Mark, can't wait to see what else is coming out from your family. But in the meantime, we have Jupiter's Legacy to look forward to.
I hope you like it. Wouldn't it be great if the kids, when they're older, they do all this and I can just kick back? Now that you're saying that, when you see the family, wouldn't that be awesome? I would love to just sit back and let them do all this work.
Put it out there, it may happen. Mark, thank you so much.
Thank you.